The 5 things you can do to position yourself as a professional freelance writer starting today. I want to start with your ideal writing clients to make sure that we are on the same page with who we think we need to be talking to and why being a professional matters. And then we'll talk a little bit about what makes a professional a professional. I don't want that to be vague for us. Then I will give you a 5-step professional makeover that you can do as soon as today. And we'll close out with some bonus tips and resources to help you take the next steps. My job today, or my goal, is to give you these first 5 bites of the elephant, but then also set you up to continue on with this as you move forward in building your freelance writing business. So this is your ideal client. Maybe not this woman per se, but your ideal client has specific mindset that we're going after somebody who thinks about copywriters and content writers in a very specific way. Basically, they think about it as an investment, right? Companies are in business to do business. If they're not buying and selling, or if they're not selling their products and services, they really aren't in business, right? They will have to close their doors. So to them, marketing their products and services, hiring copywriters, which is part of the marketing process, is an investment in selling those products. If there's a client who doesn't believe this, we really don't have time for them, because we're looking for companies and clients who value us. We have a superpower. We can drive revenue right to the bottom line. We help sell their products and services. Without us, it's pretty much impossible to do so. So we want to work with clients who understand that, who see that $5,000, $10, whatever it is that they're spending is an investment in something bigger than the money that they're paying or the thing that they're getting from us, the sales letter, the blog, the articles, the social media campaigns, whatever it is that we're doing as a writer. They want a good return on investment. So they make this expense, they pay for this investment, and they're expecting something great. So once again, they understand the value of what we put out there as writers. And therefore, they're looking for a professional. Companies want to do business with professionals. That's really anybody, right? Imagine yourself hiring a professional service provider, which is what you are as a freelance writer, and them not being professional, right? Them not having professional communication. And let's look a little bit about that. Like, what makes a professional a professional? So the definition, one of professionals, if we're using the adjective of professional, is someone engaged in a specified activity as one's main paid occupation rather than a pastime, like a professional boxer, a professional writer. Because if we're not getting paid, it's just a hobby, right? We're not a professional, we're a hobbyist. And I want you to walk away from this as a professional. That was our goal today. That's the goal of this session, is to not only make you feel like a professional, but to represent yourself as a professional from here on out to anyone that you come across, because you're coming at this to make money. I'm assuming if you've been through this event today, you're here to make money as a writer, at which point you are looking to become a professional, no longer a hobbyist. So in general, when we're looking for professionals, you and I, so if we're looking to hire a CPA or an accountant or a dentist, right? We're looking for professionals. What is it that we look for? We look for proof of expertise, right? Do they know what they're doing? Do they know how to do our taxes? Do they know the area of the business that I'm in? We want confidence that they can do the job. So when we talk to them, when we read marketing materials, anything that has to do with their business, we need confidence that if I'm going to allow you to drill my teeth, I think that you're going to be able to do that job. We want dependability, right? Can you trust that person? Do they deliver when they say they're going to deliver? If you're hiring an accountant, will they deliver your taxes done properly on time? And then finally, professional behavior and communication. Imagine any email, any phone call, anything you do where you are going to be making an investment in somebody. You expect professional behavior at every turn, right? Every email that you receive, every phone call, any kind of correspondence that you do with this person, you expect it to be at a high level. And if it wasn't, it would make you pause and think, wait a second, I'm investing in this person. Is this the person? Is this worth my investment? Remember, our ideal client is thinking about the investment. They're thinking of you as a professional. So we have to be a professional at every turn. So what does that look like for freelance writers? Because some people, maybe you, might not really attach to that just yet. You might think, but I'm a writer. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a dentist. I'm not a lawyer. But you are. You're a professional service provider providing copy or content services to a company who's making an investment in you to sell their products and services. So when we talk about proof of expertise, We're talking about things like industry experience, understanding the buyer. Like, so if I'm a writer in the infant safety market, do I understand what the new mom is fearful of? Do I understand the industry? Do I understand the clients? Have I had any training? So if you've taken blog courses or any of our certification programs, things like that you've done, you don't have to have these things, but it's just, it elevates your level of professionalism. So if you do have them, and again, your career is going to evolve and grow. Don't think of this like, oh, I don't have that. As you saw earlier today, you might not have samples yet, but you can get them, right? It's not that hard to do. You can easily get different trainings. AWI has loads of trainings and certifications that you can get. But even just taking it step back a step, your industry experience, if you have selected a niche for yourself, or you're writing about something that you're passionate about, maybe you've done martial arts for 10 years, who better to write about it than you? So your proof of expertise can be, I have been in the martial arts field for over 10 years. I have worked in 3 different dojos, and you'll go on to explain, if I worked in the infant safety market, I have 0 experience in infant safety, but guess what? I'm a mom. You can see some of the pictures behind me. I have little ones. I remember what it was like to fear that the bathwater was too hot, that someone stopped breathing. What if they crawled out of the crib? All of that stuff. I could put that expertise into my website or my LinkedIn profile or any of my marketing communications to clients saying, I understand your moms. I know exactly how to talk to them because I am one. So just think about that. What is the expertise that you have that you can put forward? Whether it's professional background, you've worked in the industry, you have specific copywriting skills in the industry, or you are the buyer in the industry, anything that you have will be you'll be able to communicate that to potential clients. Confidence they can do the job. That could be anything. That could be their marketing materials. So as a writer, it could be your website, your LinkedIn profile. It can be the emails that you send to potential clients, your writing samples. You've learned how to do samples. Anything that demonstrates your ability to write shows that helps them build confidence. It can be your blogs or articles. Anything that you're writing technically could give confidence in someone that you know what you're doing. Your dependability, responsiveness. So when they email you and say, hey, I'm interested in possibly hiring you to write some content for us, do you respond in a reasonable amount of time? When you follow up with them, when they say, this was so great talking to you, I can't wait to hear your proposal. Does your proposal have things in it that you guys talked about on the phone, right? When you send in a blog post, if they asked for a 500-word blog post, was your blog post 500 words when you turned it in, or was it 200, or was it 800, right? It's that dependability on accuracy. And then finally, professional behavior and communication, right? We're professionals. We know what that is. You've received an email from somebody that might have seemed not as professional. Just put that professional hat on every time you have an email. If you say you're going to send a proposal in by Friday, send a proposal in by Friday. If you say you're going to follow up on Tuesday, follow up on Tuesday. Just do what you say you're going to do. Be responsible, be reliable. Even your social media interactions, things that you're posting to potential clients who are reaching out to you, but also when you're commenting on their blogs and on their content pieces or their groups in social media, be that professional. Wear that hat all the time and show them so that when you are demonstrating your expertise just by answering a simple question, they say, who is this person? Let me go to their LinkedIn profile and see. This might seem like a lot at first, but this is really just the picture of a professional. It's not to say you have to have, this is not a checklist or anything, but the idea that when you look through the lens at yourself and how you're putting yourself out there and how you want people to see you, that you look and value yourself as much as you would any other professional service provider out there. It's a really interesting mindset shift that happens with writers, because a lot of times when writers are starting, they come from a place of passion and they don't realize when you cross over into professional, it is a little bit of a shift. People are going to pay you money because they value the services that you provide. And you have to value the services that you provide. Treat yourself like a professional so that you'll be willing and ready to take those professional fees. It's so interesting. A lot of new writers fear the pricing game. And as you learned from Elise Bennett earlier, you can price with confidence from day one. Companies don't want to work with people who don't value their own services, right? You don't want to go to a dentist and have them say, yeah, I'll fill your teeth. You're one of my first clients, so I'm going to do it for $20. I don't want the discount. I want to pay a dentist who's experienced, who can fill my teeth for me. I want you guys to have that mindset shift of, from this day forward, being a professional and looking like a professional, sounding like a professional, feeling like a professional, and every dealing with a potential client. Now, again, as you become more experienced, you're going to get more of this stuff. You're going to do more. You're going to become more and more professional just by nature. But there are things that you can do today to go ahead and not only prove to the world that you're a professional, but prove to yourself as well. So let's jump into our 5-step professional makeover. So step 1, we've kind of touched on, right? Update your mindset. You are a professional service provider, like the dentist, in this case, the dental hygienist. You are providing a service to people that they value, to companies. They want this thing. The dentist does not go through training, right? And buy his building, put up his shingles, and then go out to the world and say, I am a dentist. Somebody please let me fill their teeth. Please just do me a favor. Nobody's doing you a favor. They don't need you to do it. You don't need them to do you a favor because you have a service. If you have taken any training from AWAI, you have a valuable service, right? Persuasion, copy, content, blogs, articles, whatever it is that you want to start with, you have something. Now, can you have more? Yes. And we're going to talk about that at the end. You're going to want to build more. But here's the reality. A client asks you tomorrow to write a case study, and all you've ever written so far are blogs and articles. What do? You come to AWI. We have everything that you could possibly need. So you say, yes, client, I can totally do that for you. I have time in my schedule 2 weeks from now. And then you hang up the phone, you do a little dance, call us and tell us to celebrate too, go to our catalog, download the case study program, you're off to the races. Whatever happens, I just want you to remember you're a professional service provider from this day forward, and you want to work for companies who value you, and you can figure out anything. So just say yes and then expect to be paid the rates that other people are being paid in the industry. We have a pricing guide. I think you might already have access to it. If not, it's on our website. I'll show you how to access it at the end. It has the range of fees that you should expect to be paid. But I want you to just have that mindset. You're a professional offering a professional service, expecting to be paid professional fees from this day forward. I'm dubbing you a professional. Number 2, you're a professional. You need to be on LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn profile is one of the best beginning hanging of shingles, marketing materials. It can serve as your website to start. You need to be on LinkedIn. A very simple thing you can do today, go to your LinkedIn profile and change it to say professional writer. Bonus points if you say professional writer in a specific industry, because that way companies, when they come to your LinkedIn profile, will say, oh, look at this. This person specializes in infant safety. They must be the best infant safety copywriter in the industry because there's only this one. Everybody else is a general copywriter. Now we can get into picking a niche. That's a whole other session. We have tons of free content on our website. I know it's a sticking point for a lot of new writers, but I want to cast the net really wide, but there's a lot of value to picking a niche. But even if you don't, I just want you today to go to your LinkedIn profile and change it to say professional writer, professional copywriter, professional content writer, whatever you want to call yourself. And you can change it, right? You can change it every single day for the rest of the year. But I just want you to take that move, because doing that, having that first step of calling yourself a professional, that's your first step to being a professional. Now, if you have a LinkedIn profile that is tied to a company and you can't yet go out because you're doing it on the side, you have 2 choices. One, you can wait, which I hate having to wait because I just like you to take action now. You could go under a pen name to start. So you'll start like, I'm Rebecca Matter. Maybe my pen name is Rachel Master, or you can do it under your business name. That's another option for you. Ideally, you keep your network, even if it's not related, because you never know who is attached. Your brother's, sister's, friend's, wife's boss happens to be in your niche. You just never know. And LinkedIn is a great tool for that. And we have tons of great resources on our website for free on how to put up a great professional profile and how to use the profile to actually get clients. But today, professional writer. Then step 3, you move on to your business materials. You need to have stuff to do business, right? Things like invoices and proposals, maybe scope of projects. If you Google anything, you'll find tons of stuff out there. If you search our website, just write in the word templates, you'll come across a bunch of content from us. We actually have a template in a box, not an actual box, a virtual box. We do it all electronically so that you can take over all of our templates. We give you the rights to them so you can change them out to your company name, your address. But that mentality of creating the business documents that you'll need to run a business, there's nothing that's going to push you into professional more than that. And that way, when you are reaching out to clients, you have a professional signature. on your email. When they ask you to put in a proposal, your proposal looks, wow, like clearly, even if it's the first proposal you've ever sent out, it looks so professional. And here's a little bonus one. I want you to take an invoice template. And again, even if you just look at our templates to make the list of the templates that you might need, and then create your own. You don't have to use ours, but take the invoice template, whichever one you do, and I want you to write your first dream project, like today. Get an invoice. It could be any invoice that you download off of Word or Google, anywhere. And then I want you to write in your company name, and I want you to write in your dream project and how much it costs. I want you to feel the invoice and imagine to yourself what this will be like to send this invoice out and have that check come back. Just seeing that sounds a little woo-woo, but I'm telling you, it works. Elizabeth Blessing is one of our AWI success stories. And she was on a success panel at a recent boot camp. Boot camp is our big annual copywriting conference in Delray Beach, Florida. But she was on a panel, and she said before she got her start, that was the first thing that she did, was she went through all of our templates and she put her business name and everything on it, so she was ready to go. And every day she would just process an invoice for herself, just to get the feeling of, this is what it's going to be like when I'm in business. There's something that happens with the brain when you connect it to things like that. So I recommend trying it. Next up, prepare for conversations with clients. Guess what? A client's going to call you, whether it's by the phone, whether it's over email. They have a problem that they need solved, and they're looking to you to provide that solution. So practice. I'm going to show you again a link at the end. We have this great group of webinars called Inside AWI, and we actually have one on. A client just called me, now what? Like, what do I say? And again, when I use the word call, it could be over email, it could be over LinkedIn, not necessarily an actual phone call, but it could be. But what do you do? How do you handle that? And so we go through a few different role-playing scenarios on how to handle that kind of stuff. But just prepare for this. Put yourself in their shoes, and then your shoes as well, and think, what kind of questions would you ask them? In order for you to follow up with a well-written proposal or well thought out conversation, email, whatever it is, what would you need to know? So maybe you'll ask questions like, can you tell me who your ideal prospect is? Who are you trying to target with this? What kind of problem are they having, and how are you solving it? Why is your solution better than your competitor's solution? And then finally, how will you deem this project successful? Are we looking to, is it a search engine optimization thing? Are we looking to get more people to like your social media page? Are we trying to get people to comment on the blog? Like, what is the intention of this? That last question is what will distinguish you from every other writer out there. Writers who are tied to results. What is the intended result? How will we deem this a winner? You immediately elevate your value in the mindset of the company, simply because you're tied with them. It's a very collaborative experience working with companies. And again, it's another misunderstanding that new writers have, that it's this adversarial, I'm the client and you're the writer and you will submit this thing that is so perfect. It's not like that. We work together. We're in it together. We're kind of bound together, because if you think about it, we both are concerned about the end results. Because if we have great end results, I, the client, win, and I want to keep hiring you, the writer, who also wins. So we both want it to work together. So starting these conversations on that foot will give major bonus points and immediately elevate your value over other writers out there. But just prepare for this stuff. Get on with each other. We're gonna, if you're in any of our social communities, practice this stuff. Find a good accountability group, meet some other AWI members. You can do it online. You can do it on Zooms like this, and just kind of role play, practice through. Client A calls you. This is what they say. How are we going to handle it? And again, there's a great Inside AWI on A Client Just Called Me, Now What, which I recommend everybody go through. Where I think it was Pam Foster and Helen Buttery, who works for AWI as well on our business building side. She's building up our job board and a bunch of our business building opportunities for you. In 2021, AWI is planning on doubling down on getting our writers more work. We've had one of the most successful years in the history of the company when it comes to success stories. Copywriters have never been busier than they are right now. And in 2021, we're going to push that and see if we throw a little bit of fuel on that fire, how big can we make it? So that's really exciting. But Pam and Helen do this role playing, and I highly recommend you check it out. And then finally, this one might seem like the most obvious, but write. As a professional, you write every single day. Writers write, right? So what do you write is always the question. Okay, you told me to write. Now what do I write? Comments on social media. Go find your potential clients. Find your ideal clients. Everybody who works for AWI on social media, I found them on social media. I found them because they were just contributing great comments in our different groups. Your potential clients are looking at that stuff. Steve Maurer is a perfect example, one of our success stories. He goes, and when they're publishing articles on LinkedIn in his given field, he comments really intelligent comments showing that he knows about the business. What do you think that they do when they see those comments? They click on his profile and say, oh my gosh, this guy is a copywriter in this space. How amazing is this? He's doing amazing just from that single effort. It doesn't even have to be anything major, just from participating in social media. If you got out there every single day and just spent 10, 15 minutes looking and reading and engaging with your potential clients in the industry you want to write for, that is a great way to get noticed, because then when you follow up with them, they know your name. I promise you, they know your name. We know our best, most engaged social media people. We know the people who are helpful on content. Many of you might know John Morrow, amazing blogger. He worked for Copy Blogger originally from Brian Clark. And when Brian Clark, he would just go through programs, and he was one of the best contributors in the comments Brian had ever seen. So when Brian needed a content person, who do you think he went to? He hired John. And he was actually the one who kind of told him to get out there and start his own business. But he hired him because he was just so freaking good at answering comments. So that's a great opportunity just to write every day, to flex that muscle. Samples. You learned how to write samples today. You could spend every Monday is sample day. I'm going to write a new blog post. I'm going to write a new article. I'm going to write something for my industry. I'm going to write a new case study. I just went through the AWI case study certification. So I'm going to write a case study. Whatever the thing is, samples are great opportunities to just put pen to paper, like that invoice idea. Give yourself a job. I'm in infant safety. Guess what? The infant safety bathtub manufacturer is hiring me to write a business to business white paper on infant safety in bathtubs that they are going to send to all of the stores who buy and sell baby tubs to moms, right? They buy from manufacturers and they sell it to moms. I give myself the assignment and I do the work. That is such a great way of, while you're building up, while you're getting ready, just to kind of give yourself that activity of writing every single day. Copy for your website. Yes, you're going to need a website eventually. You don't have to do it out of the gate. Your LinkedIn profile will suffice. But imagine doing business, a lot of business with a professional service provider who doesn't have a website. We have a very easy program. It's called Build Your Freelance Website in 4 days. And we walk you through the entire thing step by step. Even if you don't have samples, even if you've never had an experience, even if you don't have company lists or testimonials, it doesn't matter. We can get you up and going quickly. That's in our catalog as well. But just working on the copy, even if you're not going to put your website up yet, go look at other people's websites and start thinking about what kind of copy could you write for your website, so that when you're ready to put it up, you already have the copy ready to go. Because the up part, actually putting it up, is like less than an hour. It's the writing of the copy that takes longer. And then blog posts and articles. There's no reason why you can't be writing blog posts and articles for people in your industry. And that is a great way to get your foot in the door. Like, just being able to go to any company and say, I looked at your blog. Here's 5 ideas of blog posts that I can write for you. It makes it so easy for them to say yes and say, I may as well give you a shot. We're not going to get married. This is not a $10,000 assignment. It's just a starting project that is zero risk to me as the company. But once you do well with that, how about this blog? How about this blog? How about the ads that link to this blog? How about the social media posts that share this blog? How about the landing pages that come after this blog? And I know I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, and you're like, whoa, but listen, there's dozens of potential projects for you at any company that you could possibly work for. A blog is one. And it's connected to a whole bunch of other stuff. So getting your foot in the door with things like that, it's a great opportunity for you. And then after that, it's just a matter of taking a step every single day. I said, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You just keep on taking bites, to keep on taking bites. So after you get to those 5 things, you're just going to keep on making steps forward. Tell everyone that you know that you're a writer. We have heard so many stories about, again, like my LinkedIn thing, my brothers, sisters, which would, I guess, brothers, sisters, wives, doctors, husbands, boss, whatever, happens to know somebody. People want to help you. It's an interesting thing about just being a human. We want to help. So if you tell everybody, I'm now a professional copywriter and here's how you can help me, you will. It's amazing what you will get back from someone out there wants to help you. So whether it's in person, in person, maybe not so in person right now, but through your social community, email, however you're connecting with your friends, your community, your PTA, your chamber of commerce, your church, whatever organizations you belong to, LinkedIn, signing up with groups, social groups. That's just keep working on expanding that network as wide as you can. Put up a website. Eventually you're going to want to do one. We can help you do it. It's very easy to do. I know I don't mean to like diminish it, but it really is very easy and we help you every step of the way. But that's something that should be on your list. And then continue to expand your offerings. So like I said, today you might write blogs and articles. Maybe you should learn how to write case studies or white papers or sales letters or whatever is next. The one thing I'll tell you about expanding your offerings, is that you don't want to get caught up in this learning cycle. So part of the point of this event is to get you moving forward, right? To really have you taking steps forward to build your business. Because for a lot of people, including myself, we love to learn. Learning is easy and it's safe and it's fun, but it's very easy to get caught up in that piece of it, the skill building bucket. I just need one more course, one more book, one more webinar, one more. There will always be one more thing. And the purpose of this event was to show you, you've got so much information now that you can use to start building your business, right? I talk about these two buckets a lot. If you've been around AWAI for a long time, your skill building bucket and your business building bucket. And at every given time, you want something in each of them. The key is to not overflow one where you're taking 6 different trainings at one time and really not making any progress, or leaving one empty where you're taking training and not doing anything on the business building side, or you're only building your business and you have nothing to offer your clients. So you're always going to be learning. Bob Bly is one of the greatest copywriters of our time. I was teaching with him one day and he said, for the pro, school is never out, right? You're a professional writer now. You will always be learning. The key is though, just keep both going. Every time you're always learning something. So what's the next offering that you're going to offer clients, knowing you're going to be learning this stuff, but a client might change direction on you and say, well, I want you to do this instead. Great. I've got AWI. I have everything I need. So something in the skill building and something in the business building. This session that you just went through now has 5 different things, plus now other things you could start putting in the business building bucket. And the things that you've learned today, you have this roadmap, you have this worksheet. Hopefully you've gone through it. If not, that's okay. You still have all of the sessions. And the key is just to take bites. Keep your skill building bucket full, keep your business building bucket full, and keep taking bites every single day. And there's no way that you can't succeed just by taking action. Imagine where your life could be a week from now if you continued like you did today, 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Imagine taking action like this every day, looking back 6 months from now at how far you've come. It would be an amazing and beautiful thing. And I hope that you do that and that you share that with me in the coming weeks and months as the story unfolds. So I mentioned earlier, we have a ton of resources on the AWA website that are free. If you go to our homepage, that's the one with the pretty picture of Rachel Kraft. You'll actually see her if you're one of our Barefoot Writer community members. She heads up the online Facebook group. If you click on resources though, it'll take you over to the page that you see on the right. And that is actually, there's a longer page underneath that, but that's where our pricing guide is. So we publish it once a year, what the industry should expect to pay for writers and what you should expect to charge. We have this amazing article archive. If you type any word into the search bar, pricing, template, retainers, samples, anything that you can think of, type it in there. You will find great articles written on those topics. We have a glossary. We have those Inside AWI webinars. We do one once a month, but we have over 30 of them archived on the website as well. Everything you could possibly think of, again, from how to do samples, writing, how to structure retainers, anything you could think of is in there. So use these resources. There's no reason why anything should stop right now. You should just keep on going. You're right here, and you've done this.